This one is going to be slightly different, and this is not going to be for children. We're going to be discussing some adult topics, okay? And I'm so just understand that usually when I'm on here, I try to be funny, I try to keep it upbeat, I try to be happy, but I do have to address some issues, right? And so it's gonna get it might get a little bit uncomfortable, but it is what it is. It's got to be done. I'm going to do it this one time, and then after that, I'm not going to keep repeating myself and doing the same thing over. So what I want to do is I want to get into this comment, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, here's the comment. It's from one of my critics, and I want to read the entire comment, and then I want to go through it line by line to give you guys my response. I'm doing this one time and one time only. I'm not going to keep coming back with these same responses, but this is from an individual who has, you know, I don't know. I don't know if he thinks that I'm hiding something or what it is, but he's like dug through my whole past, and he's just brought up a lot of crazy stuff. And here's the thing, guys. The question I ask is, this guy is supposed to be like a person who quote unquote exposes like pyramid schemes, but my question is, what does this have to do with like exposing pyramid schemes? I mean, it's just gotten to the point where it's like it's not even a it's not even a debate. It's not a good faith debate. It's not a friendly debate. It's an unfriendly, accusatory, like ad hominem attack where he's just like, I'm just gonna attack this guy, right? And so I don't know exactly why he's doing it, but he has decided to go forward with that. I've done nothing but be respectful to him on my platform, and you know, I try to be respectful to everybody. But let me just go ahead and address these issues, okay? First and foremost, uh, none of this stuff is a secret, okay? So everything that he talks about in this comment, I've already written about it. It's in my book. I plug my book every single day, right, on every single show. So that's the power of leadership. I did this book with Matt Morris. I wrote a chapter. Matt wrote a chapter. It's got chapters written by a lot of other amazing authors and entrepreneurs. 200 plus pages of game. It's good, right? And it deals with my personal life, my incarcerations, my struggle with addiction, overcoming that, my, getting zeroed out, losing my businesses, coming back from that, right? It's all dealt with in the book. But nevertheless, I want to deal with it here as well for you guys, just to answer this guy's comment. So here he goes. The first part is he's saying, you are a fake trader, okay, with a fake book for credibility, where you paid a service to create it for you with no track record of success in business, etc. Manager at Steak and Shake, committing multiple felonies, being a fake Christian rapper, and losing your insurance license. None of this qualifies you to teach people to trade. You're 100% responsible for anyone who signs up to these Ponzi schemes through your affiliate link. You play it off like I'm just sharing what I do. Okay, do that, but without the referral links. Oh, you would never do that, would you? The only reason you makes, I think he meant make, the only reason you make these videos is to get people to sign up through your referral links, man. You're unemployable and had to turn to scamming. Okay, so let's do this one by one. Let me go ahead and answer these. Now, guys, look, first and foremost, this stuff is not a secret. Okay, I talk about it in my book. I wrote this book with Matt Morris. I plug the book every single time I do a video. Uh, Also, it's important for you guys as I go into this. One thing that I want you guys to understand is that this is no longer an argument about the legitimacy or the legality of crypto platforms. This is just a flat out, just a flat out attacking my character, right? It just that's what it is. So, I mean, it's like it's like you've left, and this person, it's a shame because this person, you had, I mean, his show is kind of entertaining. I mean, I used to be like an avid watcher of it, but it's like you've left the point where you're actually arguing on the the validity of these programs and things like that. The scammer thing is fine. You want to talk scammer, you can talk that all day. Pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme, that's all fine. But and he's done this with other people too. He just recently did an expose on Ed Zimbardi, the leader of crypto program. And it was just basically a whole video where he just slandered Ed the entire time. And then he released another video where he actually put disinformation out there about Ed's platform that's like just factually wrong. Right. So this guy is like, I don't know what it is. I mean, he's trying to build his YouTube channel. That's the only thing I can think of. Okay. But let me go ahead and let's see. Where do we start here? Yeah, so I mean, it's an ad hominem attack, right? This isn't even it's like you're not even arguing any type of this is no longer a debate, right? This is like I'm just going to attack this guy because I don't like him or I think that he's a, criminal or he's a fraud or whatever have you. And that's what it's turned into. And that's kind of a shame, right? I mean, I don't listen, I've been a young man before. I know what it's like growing up and being a younger guy and, going through life and you're trying to start something and I get it, man. And I think honestly, frankly, I think the guy's got a lot of talent. But, this is I mean, what are you doing here? Are you just making attack videos? Are you like is your whole platform going to be to criticize people and bring people down in order to get like views and followers and things? I mean, is that your whole deal? I mean, I guess that's a grift, man. People do it. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people, but for me personally, guys, I want to build something that adds value to people's life. I don't want to be a guy that's tearing people down. I'm not interested in that. Right. I just not even interested in tearing him down. Right. I don't, really, I just want to kind of live my life here. But here's the thing. These things that he's bringing up about my past, man, I've got to address them, right? Because it's like, dude, this is like you're like hitting a foul ball right now, dude. You're like you're not playing fair at this point. You're trying to do these below the belt attacks, so I'm gonna have to address it here. So let's get into it, guys. Number one, okay, his number one attack was fake trader, right? He says I'm a fake trader. Okay. Now, he doesn't have any proof of that, right? I know I'm not a fake trader, but he doesn't have any proof that I'm a fake trader, right? It's just a baseless accusation, right? It's totally baseless. It's just like, I mean, I feel like we're on the playground, dude, and you're just like going, nah, 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 you're a fake trader. I mean, is that what this has come to? Right? I mean, are you just what are you doing? You're throwing rocks at me? I mean, what you don't know if I'm a fake trader or not. You don't know me, dude. Right? So, I mean, anyway, let me tell you the story of my trades and I'll also give you the evidence, right? I'll give you the story of how I became a trader and I'll give you the evidence, right? So, here it is. A few years ago, now as you guys know, I'm an ex-felon. I've done prison time. I've been I got back. I've had an insurance license in the past. I was an insurance broker. I've been in a lot of different various sales roles throughout my life and throughout my career, right? And I had a reputable, good business as an insurance broker until I lost my licenses. The reason why I lost my licenses is because, excuse me, I have a felony record. Okay, so once I got out of prison, once I got back into my regular life, I got, my licenses were still good, so I went back and got signed up with more, insurance providers and things like that, and I started building my insurance business back up. Right, it did very well, and it wasn't until like 2 or 3 years later where the states came back and they sued all the states that I was licensed in, sued to take away my license on the basis of me being a felon. So what I decided to do is I decided to hire a lawyer and fight it. Right. So I said, okay, hired a lawyer, call the lawyer. Can we fight this? Sure, we can fight it. Just send me $300 to start. So the first payment was 300 and then it went up from there. So I'm paying this lawyer, man, week after week, month after month to try to fight so that I don't lose my insurance license. But all that was happening was I was losing my money to this lawyer who was really not getting anywhere, fighting these revocations. So now here's another thing. During that season of time, I was living in a $1 million home. See, I'd already come back, right? I've been out of prison, hit the ground running. I was zeroed out. I was living with my mom. I had to build everything back up, right? So built my business back up. I've got $1 million home. I've got a couple of nice cars, great business, right? Big, all the trappings of success I had, right? I had the big smart TV and all the other stuff. And I just, it was a great home, in Creve Coeur, which is a great area. And over Christmas, that's when they decided to send me the letter talking about that they're going to sue me and take away my licenses. I tried to fight it. I failed. Okay, because I didn't want. I was like, did he have the money? Maybe I had the money, but I didn't want to keep paying the lawyer, and never getting anywhere. It's like I was just pushing money down a black hole at that point. So I said, okay, this is a few years ago. I have to figure something else out, right? And I have a dear, dear friend who, God bless him. Thank God for him. He's been a tried and true friend. When you go to prison, guys, you figure out who your friends are and who they aren't. Right. That's, hopefully God help, God help you never to ever have to go through what I've gone through. Okay. But if you ever have to do that, you figure out real quick who your real friends are and who your fake friends are. And even though I had a big Facebook and all this other stuff, well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to everything. Okay, because this guy's like literally trying to take the shotgun approach to, I don't know, like what do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to what are you trying to do here? Like, do you think that I'm like ashamed of my past? Right? I'm not. Right? I am who I am, and I like who I am. Sorry. If you don't like it, that's fine. I don't need you to like it. Okay, so anyway, let me get back on track here. So anyway, my dear friend called me and he said, "Hey, I want you to look into this." And it was a course. It was a trading course, and it was very expensive trading course. Okay, but what am I going to do? I'm a convicted felon. This guy does have a point. To a lot of people, I'm quote unquote unemployable, right? So what am I going to do? And I don't want to lose my lifestyle. I didn't just need a job, guys. I needed at least 6 figures a year to keep my lifestyle, right? Or I was going to lose everything again and get zeroed out again. And it's like, oh my Lord, it's like, man, because at this point, I had changed my life, man. I was involved in the church. I was involved back with the Lord. And, I was like, I thought I was doing good, right? It's like, oh man, I'm going to get zeroed out again. And so this guy said, hey man, you need to look into this trading thing. And it was Forex trading. It was currency exchange trading. So he called me up and he said, hey, dude, I need you to look at this. So I looked at it and it was expensive, but I decided to take a leap of faith and do it. So I got involved in a class. Actually, it's like a college curriculum, right? That I got involved in when it came to learning how to learning how to trade Forex, learning what Forex is. Learning the different type of brokers that you can get involved in with Forex, as well as other types of trading, stock market, commodities trading, like gold and silver, things of that nature, right? Indices, index trading, index funds. So all of that stuff I had a course in, and it was like a college, seriously. There were 101 classes, 201, 301, and even 401 classes that I went through, guys. Sleepless nights, right? And then I got involved. I started learning how to do it. And what happened? Well, I started trying to go off of some of the other strategies that were being taught in the course, right? And some of the strategies that were being taught in the course were, frankly, they were hard for me to work with, and they weren't producing the kind of results that I needed. I was very, very aggressively trading. I was trying to make a lot of money. I was trying to make a lot of money really fast, and I made a lot of rookie mistakes, right? This has been years in the making, guys. made a ton of rookie mistakes, made a lot of errors. So, I know what a pip is. It's a point in percentage, right? I know how the Forex game works. You've got your longs, you've got your shorts, you've got your intraday, you've got your binary options trading. I'm not just pulling all this stuff out of the air, right? I didn't just like one day wake up and said, "Oh, I'm going to pretend to be a trader so I can push a course online and try to make money that way." No, this is my story. And bro, you don't know me. You don't know what I went through. You didn't see. You weren't there, right? You weren't there for any of this, right? So anyway, went through that, failed a lot, lost a lot of money, right? And then I learned, I've hit my head against the wall so many times. I learned, okay, I'm not going to put any more real money into this until I learn how to do this for real and develop a trading strategy that's going to be profitable, compoundable, attainable, achievable, sustainable. And so I started a demo account, right, with fake money in a demo account. And I refused to put another dollar into trading until I became profitable consistently in that demo account. Weeks went by. Months went by. Guys, I've been learning how to trade for years. And I finally developed a strategy that works. It works. It works for me, right? It's easy to learn, right? You don't have to learn all the lingo. You don't have to learn all the jargon. You don't have to go through everything that I went through if you just follow the simple strategy that I made. And I like things simple. If it works, that's what it doesn't need to be complicated as long as it works. And so thank you, Lord. Thank God I found and developed a strategy that works. It's achievable, it's tested, it's attainable, sustainable. I've got the receipts, right? I've got the documentation. The strategy works, right? And then I decided, actually wasn't going to even release a trading course. And I asked you guys on here, hey, would anybody on here be interested in me releasing a trading course? I'm thinking about maybe making a book, maybe making a trading course. And then on here, on my channel, I had people come on and say, hey, yeah, Vaughn, I would be interested in your trading course. I would be interested. So I wasn't even going to do it. But I asked, hey, would you be interested? Yeah, I'll be interested. So I said, okay. And I'm working on that now. So my question is, how is that fake? Right? Everything that I just told you is a fact. It's not an opinion. I have the evidence, right? I've got all of my statements from my broker. I could show you all of the statements. I'd be happy to do that if you want to see them. I'm going to share a lot of them in my actual trading class. So how is that fake? Right? I don't your argument here has no weight whatsoever. It's just a baseless accusation. So there's the facts. I have the evidence. And guys, I'm proud of myself, right? I'm proud of myself for finding a trading strategy that works, right? I'm happy about it. I'm glad I worked hard for it and learned how to do it. So there it is. So that is number one on this guy's laundry list of problems that he has. Okay. Number two, I paid a service to make my book. All right. So once again, here's the book that I did, right? I did this book with Matt Morris. It is it has been featured on prominent news networks. I wrote a chapter, Matt wrote a chapter. This is a real published book, and the company that publishes is called Success Publishing, right? That's the publisher that I worked with, and it's my first book. Publishing a book, starting a business, anything like that, of course, is going to cost money, right? So it's not a fair statement to say that I just paid somebody to make a book. It's really not as simple as that. There's a screening process that you have to go through with Success Publishing. And I'm sure that this person knows that. They obviously did their research. Okay. And, you know, It's an upfront investment that you make. Okay. It's like, okay, first off, can you be a part of the book? You got to demonstrate that you can write. You've got to send them stuff. You've got to go through an interview, after like 3 or 4 phone interviews with these people, right? Face to face interviews on the internet, right? I mean, just you got they pretty serious about the type of people they don't just publish anybody, guys. Okay, it's and so I told my story. I'm gonna tell my story again here today with you guys. Told my story, and the guy says, "Wow, Vaughn, dude, you have to do this, right? You have to be part of this book." So that's how it happened. Did it cost money? Of course, it costs money, right? I mean, you pay the money up front, right? With any publishing deal, unless you're already a published author, then they can give you an advance. But if you've never been published before, yeah, you pay the money up front and then you get it back via the royalties. And guess what? I have the royalties. Okay? There's the evidence. If you want to see the evidence for my first book being legitimate, well, first and foremost, I mean, I'm a published author, right? I mean, you can't just make that up. And then secondly, I have the royalty payments, right? I mean, I could show you them. Do you need to see the royalty payments? Right? I mean, what do you need here? So this is yet another uh accusation that has no validity to it, right? I mean, where and what is that? I mean, I'm proud of my book, right? What are you trying to do? Like, I mean, isn't it just a total, like, aren't you just like, don't you have some problem with me personally, even though you don't even know me? I mean, am I wrong in thinking that? I mean, dude, I never did anything to you. Like, dude, I've always been respectful to you, right? So, I just don't understand, man. So anyway, that's a baseless accusation about my book. Okay. And like I said, I'm proud of my book. And like I said, also, which is important, I'm going to keep saying this is, guys, for the things that I'm saying here, I have the evidence, right? I could show you the receipts. I can show you the evidence. This person, the only thing he's going to show you is either stuff that he came up with, something he found on the internet, talking to an old friend of mine, an old disgruntled friend, you know, okay, where's the hard actual evidence? Where's the facts? If something's factually true, I'll agree with you. All right, so moving on. Here's the next one, and this is weird. He brought up that I was a manager at Steak and Shake. Okay, well, so what? I mean, so what? I was a manager at Steak and Shake. What what the heck does that have to do with anything? Like, am I supposed to be like ashamed that I was a manager at Steak and Shake? Why would I be? Okay, I wasn't born with a silver spoon, guys. I had to work for everything that I've ever had in life. I actually worked my way up to manager at Steak and Shake. I started out as a waiter, right? Learned the business, worked my way up into management. What does that have to do with crypto platforms? Right? I wasn't born into wealth. I had to earn it. Yeah, I worked at Steak and Shake. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. So what, man? Who cares? Right? I mean, what are you trying to do? You show me that you know about my history? I already know that you know about it. As soon as you put up that thumbnail on your interview, I knew that you had dug into my history. Right? So it's like, what am I supposed to, like, is this like a gotcha moment for you? Everybody knows about it. I wrote a book on it, man. All right, next up. And this is where it's going to get a little tough, guys. So I just want to give you kind of a forewarning of that. Yeah, I'm going to get to all your guys' questions. I'm going to get to all your guys' comments. We're going to talk about everything. And you just got to understand that I have to address this stuff, right? Because this is shots fired, right? Shots fired. Okay? So I'm sorry, I have to address it now, right? And I'm doing it this one time and one time only. After this, I'm not going to be bringing this stuff up again. Okay. You guys have a heyday in the comments. Say whatever you want. After I release this video and put this video out, guys, it's going to be right here. So anybody who has questions or has a problem, they can look at the video for themselves. They can hear what I have to say. Keep turning that upside down. They can read my book, right? You can get the book. It's in there. And then we're going to move on, right? We're going to move on. But you just got to understand, guys, I'm not the one to run from these type of things. I have to confront it head on. Now, this is going to get a little bit tough. This is where he mentions multiple felonies. Okay, multiple felonies. Yes, I do have a felony record. Okay, yeah, he's right. Right, I have a felony record. Does that disqualify me from having a business? Does that disqualify me for having rights today as I sit here in front of you? So because I have a felony record, does that mean that I no longer ever have rights at all? Have I lost my God-given rights? Right? Just because I have a record? I don't know. Maybe you think I have. Maybe you think I don't have any rights. Maybe you think I am a second-class citizen and I shouldn't have my own business. Okay? Well, hey, you're not the only one. A lot of the states thought that too. Right? Personally, I disagree. All right, so let me talk about the main incident that this guy is referring to. Now, the difference between me and him is I was actually there, right? He has a report. He may have, I mean, this thing, it got in the news, it got newspaper articles, worldwide attention, right? It was a big blow up thing because the cops were involved and there was a police shooting involved. So it always makes news when somebody gets shot by the police. So it did. And of course, the police have to put their best foot forward. The city of Las Vegas, where I was living, they have to put their best foot forward. The people who write the article, they need to have a bad guy, right? And they need to cast the cops as the good guy. Okay. So, yeah, that happened. Let me tell you what actually happened. Because once again, this guy is dealing in opinions and this guy is dealing in attacks, but I'm going to give you the actual facts of what happened. Here it goes, guys. All right. So the girl I was living at the time, she was not, cheating on. He said that I had said my girlfriend was cheating on me or something like that. I never said that. Okay. She was not cheating on me, but she did have a previous man that was a Las Vegas cop. That is a fact. Track with me now. Me and that cop had been beefing for years. That was a fact. Okay. He was her ex-boyfriend. When I came into the picture, she stopped seeing him, started seeing me. Me and him have been going back and forth for years. They're in Las Vegas. That's a fact. I was in the insurance business, and my girlfriend stood to receive $1 million life insurance policy in the event of my death. Okay. I'd signed up for $1 million life insurance policy. She was sitting with me right there next to the agent. It was me, the life insurance agent, at her there at the table where I named her my number one beneficiary for $1 million life insurance policy. So she had a financial interest in my death. That's a fact. So she stood to receive $1 million in life insurance in the event of my death. During the night of my arrest, this was back in 2017, 2 Las Vegas police officers were camped out in my home. Okay. Now, what never was said and what never was shared is that previous night and that day, I had been going back and forth with her ex-boyfriend, right? So, hey, now's the time to do it. Let's call the cops on Vaughn, right? Let's get the police involved and let's set this up and just, let's take this guy out at that point is what it was. So during the night, there were 2 officers camped out in my home, at the home that I had been living in during the night of my arrest. It was my girlfriend's house. Me and those officers had multiple conversations that night. Okay. Now, what you have to understand is that during during when the police arrest an individual, during an arrest, when they apprehend somebody, police officers are trained to de-escalate the situation. Okay? That is part of police training, but these cops kept on escalating until it culminated into a violent confrontation where I confronted both of them, got the jump on them, showed them that One day you are going to pick the wrong person to do this to, and something bad is going to happen to you. Now, that was a lesson that those police officers are never, ever going to forget. I told you this was going to be hard, guys. All right. But that's what happened. If so, they kept on escalating it. It ended up in a violent confrontation. If a real weapon would have been used, guys, there are only three people in this world who know how that night would have turned out. Those people are me and the two officers involved. The weapon was fake. Their weapons weren't fake. My weapon was fake. If it had been real, that night would have ended a lot differently. I did not want to hurt, harm, or kill the police officers. Had I wanted to do that, the night would have ended a lot differently. At that point, I was shot at point blank range 5 times and I didn't die. I was sent to prison for the exact amount of time it would take for the statute of limitations to expire so that I would be discouraged from suing the LVPD. So they gave me a prison term in the exact amount of time to where the statute of limitations so that I couldn't sue them. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. I was there. While incarcerated, I was put in the cell with a lifer. This guy is doing life in prison. They put me in the cell with him, and he was instructed by the police, by the people over the prison, to murder me in the cell. And they even sent him a body bag to put me in. So I was working in the kitchen, the prison kitchen at the time. I came back into my cell, and there's this body bag, and there he is. But the Lord was with me. Okay. At that point, I had rededicated my life to the Lord. And when it came time to actually do the murder, my cellie was not able to go through with it. And he came clean to me about it. So I requested a different cellmate at that time, right? I mean, okay. Thanks for telling me, but I'm going to go ahead and request a different cellmate. Everything that I just shared with you is a fact. It's not an opinion. Guys, I should have never confronted those police officers. I failed to adhere to a powerful biblical truth. And I'm going to give you that truth right now. If I would have heeded this biblical truth, it's Ephesians 6:12. If I would have listened to this biblical truth, I would not have had that happen in my life. Ephesians 6:12. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with powers of wickedness in the heavenly realms. Okay? We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with powers of wickedness in the heavenly realms. I was not in a battle with police officers. I am not in a battle with any human being, right? Not even the guys who throw the hate comments at me. I'm not even in a battle with you. The battle is with evil, right? It's the battle with wickedness in the heavenly place, a spiritual battle. A spiritual battle, one of the traps that you can get into is you, instead of fighting against the spiritual, problem, you fight against the physical people, right? And then you end up with stories like mine, with situations like mine. Now, thankfully, I was able to take accountability for my actions. And I talked to one of the officers who was involved. Okay, we talked face to face. That happened a few months later. It's all on the record. You can look it up. Okay. During my incarceration, I rededicated my life to Christ and I was healed of a complication that I had from the shooting. So it was a pretty powerful event, guys. I mean, all I can say is that take it for what it's worth. I mean, you think that Jesus can't get into a prison cell? He can. And he walked right into that cell. And next thing I remember, I was on my knees, tears running down my face. That's how it happened. That's the facts. That's not an opinion. When I got back up after that encounter, after I got up off my knees and cleaned up and everything, I realized that that complication that I was having was gone, and it has never come back. Incidentally, I believe that my sins are forgiven by the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ, by what he did for me on the cross. I have received that, right? That's why I don't that's why I'm not like ashamed of my past, right? Everything that happened brought me to where I am today, and I'm grateful for where I am today. Very, very happy to be where I am today. Well, then I prayed that God would bring me through my prison sentence and allow me to come home to my family. He answered that prayer. I got through it, guys. I do not regret the past or wish to shut the door on it. Okay. I like who I am today. Incidentally, I've been sober for 8 years. Okay. I'm part of a great 12-step program locally, and I am involved in my local church, right, on the praise team. It's in my book, right? You're not bringing to light anything new. Do you think I haven't dealt with this stuff? I mean, I was there, man. I lived through this. What do you think I am? Do you think I'm cowering in a corner, like afraid somebody's going to talk about my past? I'm not. Let's talk about it, right? Seems like you don't want to talk anymore, though. You just want the conversation to be one sided at this point. All right. Let's lighten it up to a little bit, guys, and let's get to this fake Christian rapper accusation. So, here's the next accusation that he makes, that I'm a fake Christian rapper. Okay. Vaughn, the faker Charlie, right? My parents, my middle name is Charles, right? So I'm Vaughn Charles Morrill. My middle name's Charles. My parents called me Charlie, and somehow this guy figures out my name from when I was a kid, and he's like, Charlie, I got you. I know your name. It's like, okay. And so anyway, he says that I am a fake Christian rapper. So it's time for me to talk to you guys about my rock star 20s, baby. My rock star 20s, right? So let's go back a little. Now, guys, I have some pictures for this one, right? I have some pictures because this, this was back before the cell phone days, right? Pictures were actually taken with a regular camera and they had to be processed. and they had to go through a development process. But I'm going to show you some pictures here. Yes, guys, yes, I was a musician. Okay, I've always been a musician. I taught myself how to play guitar when I was 16 years old. Always been a musician. I got involved with various groups when I was in my 20s. I played in rock bands. I played rock and roll music, some rap and hip hop groups. I was involved with those. I never called myself a quote unquote Christian rapper. But what we used to do is we would go around, and when we were doing shows and stuff like that, we would do altar calls right at the end of the show, and we would say, "Hey, here's our testimony. If you would like to receive Christ as your Lord and Savior, please come forward." And so we during that time we led hundreds of kids to Christ. We had kids who wanted to end their lives actually come to these concerts and stuff that we did, and they would come up and they would dedicate their life to Christ. They would come up afterwards and be like, "Dude, you saved my life. I've got the testimonies written down on paper if you want to see them." Right? I'm not like I'm dude. how- so my only question is, how does that make me fake? Right? Yeah, so I did music in my 20s. So what, dude? How does that make me fake? Here's one of the pictures. This is a group that I was in. There's me looking very dapper next to one of the other guys who were fronting that group. His name was All Eyes Manifest. Let's see. Here's another one. This is me doing a show. We did a show with there's a guy named Drop Jaw. He was I think he was from Kansas City. We did a show together there. Uh, right. So I was a kid, right? I was in my 20s. I was going around doing music, full of vinegar, right? Does that make me fake? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I was signed to two different record labels, so I don't see how, you know, God, here come the Eminem comments, right? I just right, exactly. Actually, I think Eminem's amazing, right? I definitely was never as good as him. Okay. All right. Here's another one. That's me. That's your boy. Before I put some meat on those bones, look how little skinny shrimpy guy I used to be. This is a picture from when we toured in Brazil. I toured with Shadow of the Locust. That is Dirt from Shadow of the Locust. He was I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he used to do music with a little band by the name of POD, Payable on Death, big band in the 2000s. And that's me. We were doing a show together in Brazil, right? We went on tour in Brazil. Wow, man, that was a crazy time. Let me tell you. Here's a picture of me with another band that I was involved in, and this was a garage band, right? There's me and my old friend Jason. He was a drummer. Man, I played the electric guitar. We had an acoustic guitar player, a couple of singers. That was a cool band, man. Halfpenny Sparrow. Those were some good times playing music with those guys. I miss that. Um, and here for all you Eminem people, here's another one. Look at that. That's that's me. That's that guy's name. He went by Godson, and that guy went by All Eyes Manifest. You guys ever heard of a clothing company called Fubu? That was my old Fubu jacket. I don't know what happened to that jacket, man. I really liked that jacket. And there's another one of me with the group. We were called Ill Sector. We got played on radio stations all around the country. We toured everywhere. It was great, man. I've toured the United States multiple times. Let's see. I've toured in Brazil. I toured in Israel. Where else? I don't know, guys. I've been all over the world, but we did a lot. We did a lot with the music, and I wouldn't consider myself a Christian rapper, but I am a Christian, right? And some of the music was hip hop, some of it was rock and roll. There was, all kinds of other stuff going on. So again, my question to you is, how is that fake, right? So, and then the bigger question here is, dude, what does that have to do with crypto platforms? Like, what does that have to do with what I'm doing right now? Right? I don't understand the like what where are you going with this? Like I mean, is your argument, hey, this guy is you know, I don't like this person. He did this, this, and this, therefore crypto platforms are Ponzi schemes. Is that what the argument is here? Because that's a non sequitur, my friend. That a non sequitur means it does not follow. So it does not follow just because I was a Christian rapper, like you say, in my past, it does not follow that crypto platforms are Ponzi schemes. Where's that leap of logic happening? You know, so I just have to think, man, that you're trying to you know, you found some juicy information on me and you couldn't resist making a YouTube video about it, right? And making a and going and trying to like call me out on it. Okay. But that's it really doesn't to me, it doesn't go along with the mission of what you were trying to do. And it definitely doesn't have anything to do with crypto platforms. All right. And sir, well, Saint Gregory there, I'm gonna get to you. Okay. I got something for you when I get done with this comment. All right. So there was that enough about the Rockstar 20s? I mean, do I really need to say anything else about that? Yeah, I did music. So what? I still do music. I'm on the praise and worship team for local Assemblies of God church that I joined, and yeah, you can see me every Sunday on the praise and worship team at the Assemblies of God church. Right? It's like okay, and what's your point? Like, dude, what's your point? Okay, let's get into the next thing that he wanted to bring up. Oh, and does this? I mean, would do you think this qualifies as evidence, guys? I mean, I think it does, right? I mean, there's evidence there. There's also, you know, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you that hey, what I'm saying is an actual fact, and I actually have evidence for the things that I'm saying, right? So it's like you're just you're pulling stuff out of left field and right field. I've already heard you lie about people on your channel, right? And so I don't at this point I don't think you have any integrity to where you're going to actually you know, have some legitimate facts and evidence. You know, it's you know, maybe you will in the future, like I said. I mean, but right now, dude, I mean, your credibility for me, I don't see any. Uh okay. Now let's talk about losing the insurance license. I think I talked about that a little bit at the beginning of the video when I talked about my trading course. So yeah, I got out of prison, got back into the insurance business, built my insurance business back up, and then since I have a felony record, the states came in and you know started suing me to take away the insurance licenses and basically destroy my insurance business. And at that time, that's how I actually got into trading. So you say I'm a fake trader, but that's actually the story behind how I got into trading in the first place, dude. So I mean, there you go. Am I connecting the dots for you here? Right. So there it is. I mean, yeah, that happened. Now, another thing that's been brought up is lawsuits. Definitely have been involved in a lot of lawsuits, guys. So let's get to that. And let me kind of go over that. So when you're an insurance broker or when you're like a doctor or when you're like in like a lawyer, any type of legal, like any type of like licensed profession and state sanctioned profession, you have to get some coverage, some insurance coverage to protect you from lawsuits. The doctors get something called malpractice insurance. Why do they have to buy malpractice insurance? Because so many people sue doctors, right? People see a doctor and they see a wealthy person and they see a target, so they're going to make a lawsuit against that doctor. Okay. And, you know, look, dude, if you're a professional in this country, in the United States, right, or any of the Western countries, if you're a professional, you're going to get lawsuits, right? It happens. Insurance people get sued, guys, right? And I have something called E&O coverage, which stands for errors and omissions coverage, covered into the multiple millions of dollars, so that when I do get sued, right, I don't have to pay those claims out of my own pocket, right? It's called error and omission coverage. Every insurance agent has to get it. I have it. I still have it. right? Even though I'm no longer a licensed agent, I still keep my E&O coverage in case somebody from the past wants to come back and sue me. I'm in court right now, right? You're not wrong. I mean, there's a court case going on right now. I don't personally go to court. I have lawyers that go to court for me. But guys, when you're a business person, guess what? You get lawsuits. Any professional is going to get lawsuits, right? It's just that's part of the game. So you're not going to like break me down, dude, by saying that I have lawsuits. Okay? So what? It just means that I'm a professional. Professionals get sued. It happens, right? If you've got a lot of real estate, guess what? You get lawsuits, right? Look at the big real estate people. They get sued all the time. If you're a doctor, like I said, you get lawsuits. Any profession where you're dealing with the public, dude, you're going to get some lawsuits. That's life. You know, if you don't want to get lawsuits, then don't become a professional, right? Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay. Now, what I want you to know is that everything that I just went over with you guys, I have evidence in the form of documents, in the form of pictures, in the form of bank statements, in the form of broker statements. I've got the evidence. Okay. I can back up the facts and the claims that I'm making here with actual evidence, right? The only evidence that some of these haters have is just stuff they saw on the news, right? Or something that they read in an article. They weren't there. They don't know what happened. Now, I encourage anybody who wants to know more about this to get my book. Now, the incarceration and stuff like that, that's not the only thing that I talk about in the book, guys. Okay. The book's got a lot. I mean, my chapter is packed with information. Okay. And if you go through the information in that book, believe me, I'm bringing you some sauce there that you're not going to get anywhere else. Okay. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can always get the book. Like I said, I'm not going to continue to make videos like the one that I'm making right now. This is it, guys. This is it. This is my response. Okay, so anytime, let me get to that. Just hang on one second. All right. So on my videos, right? You might think that I'm a scammer or whatever, whatever negative thing that you want to say, but I'm not lying to you guys on my videos, guys. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, right? You don't have to join any of these platforms. It's not like I'm calling you on the phone and trying to persuade you to join a platform. It's totally up to you if you want to join or not. I'm just showing what I'm doing. I'm not lying to people. Unfortunately, some of these hate channels, they don't care about lying, right? They'll say anything, right? I've already heard like some things that are like, dude, that's not true. Like, or like this song that I supposedly wrote. I never wrote that. Like, dude, that's you're just factually incorrect, right? You're off. So but I don't do that, right? I'm not on here to like I don't know, man. I just don't lie to people on my videos. Okay. Also, I don't make up stories when I don't have the facts, which is exactly what you're doing, bro. You're making up a story. It's a good story, right? It's an entertaining story. I'm not gonna like, dude, I give you that, bro. I mean, it's an entertaining story, right? The way you want to weave it and everything. And in a good entertaining story, you got to have a good guy, you got to have a bad guy, and you want to make me out to be the bad guy. Okay. You're not the first person who's done that either, right? It's like I've had that accusation come against me a few times in my life, wouldn't you say? So, I mean, you're gonna hurt me like by doing that? No, but at the same time, it's a story. It's not the truth. All right. Here's another thing that I want to emphasize from this, guys. I do not use my platform here to condemn others and to tear people down, right? I use it to share the things I have learned and bring value to people's life. And the evidence for that is my subscribers. I've got a lot of great loyal subscribers, right? There's the evidence. I'm not here attacking people. I'm not here to tear people down, right? I'm not here to like go into your personal business and like figure out, hey, did this guy stole candy in the fourth grade, right? That's not my purpose, right? My purpose with this is to, yeah, it's to share what I'm doing, of course. And it's also to, give you guys some good sauce so that you can up your game financially. Risk management is something that everybody needs to learn, dude. I don't care if you're in a crypto program or not, right? Crypto platform or not. So I'm not using my platform to attack people or bring people down, right? No, I'm thankful for all of my subscribers, and I've gotten a lot of letters of gratitude, a lot of emails of gratitude from people. I've given out my number to a couple of my subscribers, and they call me up and they say thank you for bringing me into Vortic United. Thank you for, for what you're doing, things of that nature, right? This isn't an attack program, right? This isn't like a program to like air out people's dirty laundry, right? And the only reason why I'm talking about this is because you brought it all up publicly and you continue to bring it all up publicly. And here it is, guys. I mean, everything that I just told you. That's it, right? Love me for it, hate me for it, right? You think I'm a good guy, think I'm a bad guy, think I'm just nothing in between. That's up to you. You got to make up your own mind, make your own decision. I'm just telling you what happened. Okay, now this is gonna go for you also. Where is he? I don't know if you're still on and listening to this or not, Saint Gregory, but this is gonna go for you as well, okay? Because I'm not gonna be responding to these comments. Uh, Okay, so in the future, guys, for those of you who want to accuse me of committing a crime, here's what I want you to do. Okay, if you're gonna get in my comments and you're gonna accuse me of like pitching a Ponzi scheme and committing like a fraud and a crime, here's what I want you to do, guys. Just go report it. Right? Don't even bother writing the comment. Just go report me. You can report me to whoever you want to report me to. Okay. You report me to the authorities, guys. If you think that I'm committing a crime here, go ahead and report it. The authorities can look at what I'm doing here. And if they agree with you, guess what? It'll be hashed out in a court of law. So if you think I'm doing some criminal activity in here, just report it. Go ahead. You have my permission. Right? And if the authorities think that I'm doing something wrong, we will hash it out in a court of law. Okay? I'm not going to be responding anymore to people who come on here accusing me of a crime. There's your response. You accusing me of a crime? Report it. And if it is legitimate, that will be hashed out in court. There's your response. You don't need any more responses from me. That's the response. Think I'm committing a crime? Go ahead and report it, right? We'll let the authorities figure it out. Okay. Also, from this point forward, guys, anytime I receive a personal attack, I'm just going to refer you back to this video. Okay? If you accuse me of a crime, if you want to personally attack my character, things of that nature, if you do that, I'm just gonna send you right back to because I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna post this on my channel as a response for you guys, and I'm just gonna send you back here. So if you want to keep on going in, I'm not deleting your guys' comments. I know that some of you think that I'm going in and deleting your comments. I don't know how they're getting deleted. Maybe somebody else is reporting you, right? But I'm not the one deleting people's comments. But if you do make a comment like that, I'm just going to refer you back to this video. I'm not going to get into any more of these back and forths with you guys. Not about this stuff. If you have legitimate questions about what I'm doing on here, legitimate questions about like the crypto platforms or the investments that I have, or any of the binary options trading, my trading course, my book, anything that you want to talk about like that, I'm happy to talk to you guys about it. But I'm not going to be going back and forth with you guys anymore when you're just trying to personally attack or when you're trying to say that I'm a criminal. Okay, you can miss me with that. You really can. Like, okay, if I'm a criminal, go report it. Right? If you got a personal attack, I just told you everything about my life. Right? I didn't have to do that. Okay, but there it is. Right? You can think whatever you want about it. All right. So this ends now, guys. I'm not going to keep repeating this same defense over and over again to you or to anybody else. If you want to continue to argue, you can come meet me face to face, man to man, and I will even pay for your flight. Okay. Other than that, I do not have any more to say in the matter. So if you really want to get into an argument with me, I will fly you out. We will meet face to face. We will meet man to man, and we will handle it like men. Okay. We're not going to keep doing this internet back and forth stuff. That ain't for me. Right. That's not, just not going to keep doing it. Okay. Let's see. Next up. Okay. Also, guys, this is an important one. And yeah, you might disagree with this, but this is the last thing that I want to say on this. Okay. And then I'm gonna take a break and go to the bathroom, right? And I'll come back and we'll do the broadcast. Okay. By the way, the broadcast hasn't even started yet, guys. This is the intro. Okay, so just so you know, I mean, you might as well get comfortable because I'm gonna be here for a while. Okay, it'll be recorded, it'll be posted on YouTube. Yeah, I understand people can't sit here all day, but I can, right? So, all right. So, here's the last thing that I want to say about it, guys. Listen, just because I am an ex felon does not mean that I have no rights. I still have legal rights, right? And I still have the same God given rights that you do. And I will not be treated like a second class citizen by you or by anyone else. I refuse to be treated like a second class citizen. I refuse to be treated like a person who doesn't have any rights. No, I do have rights. I have the same God given rights that you do. Just because this happened in my past does not mean that I do not have rights today. I do. Also, on a personal note, I like me. Okay? I like me. All right? My mom likes me. My dad likes me. Roscoe likes me, my dog. He's looking at me right now because I said his name. And above that, God likes me. And that is more than enough. I don't need you to like me. I have found the greatest gift that anybody could ever find, and that is forgiveness. I mean, I have like seen the nails go into Christ's hand on the cross in my mind's eye. And yes, even somebody like me can be forgiven. And I have that. And this is my testimony, right? I mean, I'm wrote about this in the book as well. I like me. What more do I need?